año. Welcome to everyone on the other side. If there's anyone from the USA or wherever else in the world that's English-speaking person, please let me know in the comments. So, este programa es auspiciado por C4 Impresos, diseño y gráfica comercial general cuyas redes figuran en pantalla. Clases de guitarra con Alberto Ferroni en la zona sur de la ciudad de Rosario. Aprende, mejora y busca tu propio estilo. Este es nuestro último streaming del 2024. Por ahí vi que en comentarios estaban preguntando si era el último ya del canal, del proyecto. No, es el último del año. Así que recuerden igual que vamos a transmitir programas inéditos tanto para Navidad como Año Nuevo en formato audio en www.asiesnuestravida.com.ar. Así que Navidad y Año Nuevo me escuchan por ahí con material inédito. Sean bienvenidos a este espacio creado exclusivamente para la cultura alternativa. Yo soy Morgan y soy música gótica y alternativa de la ciudad de Rosario. Mis redes figuran en pantalla. I want to invite you all to follow my media. I am a musician from Argentina, from Rosario, Argentina. My media is on the screen right now. You can follow Mascarada De Morgan in Instagram and the other media that is appearing on screen right now. Los invito a seguir la cuenta del programa @Mascarada de Morgan y las redes de Así es Nuestra Vida, que es desde donde estamos transmitiendo. No dejen de suscribirse y poner el dedito arriba para ayudarnos a mantener el lugar en Rosario y la región. Recuerden que tienen el chat abierto para dejar todos sus comentarios. Súper importante, el botoncito del dedito arriba, abajo de donde dice ANB Stream y Radio en Vivo, Así es Nuestra Vida, ahí le dan clic a ese botoncito para que sigamos manteniendo el lugar. So if you are hearing from another place in the world, please hit the like button on this live stream. ¿Qué más? A ver, antes de ir al tema de hoy te quiero contar esta súper oferta que no te puedes perder. Llévate una moto Keller Crono 110 más casco, patentamiento, papeles de fábrica y puesta en marcha a 1.080.000 pesos. Te contactás con Nicolás para saber más y si querés financiamiento personalizado te va a asesorar con la mejor atención. En Nails by Feu te damos toda la atención que necesitas en estética. Limpieza facial, manicuría, spa de manos y pies, depilación, sus redes figuran en pantalla. No se pierdan la oportunidad de acceder a sus servicios. Artesanías para el alma, emprendimiento local de la mano de Claudia Sánchez con más de 10 años de trayectoria, va a estar regalando el arbolito de Navidarks que ven en pantalla. El sorteo se realizará entre mañana y pasado para que puedan retirarlo antes de Navidad. Les cuento que con mi emprendimiento voy a estar el sábado y el domingo en el mercado del patio, así que quien gane el arbolito puede ir a retirarlo ahí o podemos hacer punto de encuentro el 23 en el centro. Participa suscribiéndote a este canal, siguiendo @artesanías para el alma, @mascarada de Morgan y @ANB Noticias en Instagram y comentando en los videos. En el video de hoy, cuando quede posteado, el de la semana pasada o el de la anterior, sería 4, 11 y 18 de diciembre. En esos videos comentás tu nombre y apellido, más participo del sorteo del arbolito. Las redes de Claudia figuran en pantalla. Vayan dejando sus comentarios. Quiero saber quién está del otro lado. Estuve viendo Ravenart. Ya la vamos a tener con nosotros a Ravenart. Está Lau Caldarone, te mando un beso grande. Sergio, Claudia. También vi por ahí a Sabrina Molino. Un grande abrazo para todos. Si hay más gente del otro lado, por favor, me escribe ahora mismo en el chat. If you are from another side in the world, from another place in the world, and you are listening to this in English, please let me know in the comments so that I can know this is being streamed all around the world. All right? So please hit the like button. Por favor, denle like, and you can also hit the heart on the chat, all right? También denle al corazoncito del chat. Ahora sí vamos entonces a presentar a nuestro invitado de hoy. No sin antes decirles que se agarren de donde puedan y se aferren a sus asientos porque recibimos nada más y nada menos que a Fuzz San Giovanni, cofundador de Caravan of Thieves, uno de los cantantes, cantautores, compositores y guitarristas de dicha banda, así como también guitarrista de Deep Banana Blackout y The Tom Tom Club. Y por último, pero no menos importante, uno de los músicos que más admiro como música yo también y que ha influido en mi propio arte. Va a estar tocando con Caravan of Thieves el próximo 21 de diciembre en Fairfield, Connecticut, en la FTC Escenario 1. Vamos a abrir la entrevista con Eat You, una canción de su segundo disco The Funhouse, y nos vemos a la vuelta. We are honored to welcome none other than Fuzz Sangiovanni, co-founder of Caravan of Thieves, one of the singers, songwriters, composers, and guitarists of the band, as well as guitarist for the Banana Blackout and the Tom Tom Club. And last but not least, one of the musicians I admire the most as a fellow musician as well, and who has influenced my own art. He's gonna play with Caravan of Thieves next December 21st in Fairfield, Connecticut at FTC Stage 1. We open the interview with Eat You, a song from their second album, The Funhouse, so stay still and enjoy. Vamos nomás.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and... Strawberry, you should have a pint of hot pastry, dreaming about the moment that I only love you to the bone. You show my dish about delicious cheap, a heart attack and smack and sweet. I don't deserve you either way I serve you, honey, I got you done. I go hungry every night, not this time around. I'm gonna eat you, you're my desire. I'm gonna sharpen all my teeth and build a fire. I'm gonna eat you, cook and defeat you. Well, I'm gonna breathe you in my lungs and make you mine. Woo! Woo! Cause you're mistaken with your tricky words, and I will crumble like a humble bird. And now you're so tender with an ear recommend that I tell you how I feel. Oh!
Entonces tenemos acá nada más y nada menos que a Fuzz de Caravan of Thieves. Es un gran honor tenerlo en mi programa, pero no me entiende ahora cuando hablo, so I'm gonna say it in English. Here we are with Fuzz from Caravan of Thieves. It's an honor to have you here. So welcome to Mascarada De Morgan. Mascarada De Morgan. I pronounce it in English. That's crazy. How are you?
I'm very good. How about yourself?
I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm literally melting. So
Wow. And and I'm a little chilly because it's fall here, you know, and that's but I like the fall, and you know, it's Halloween time, which is a, you know, favorite time of year for me, and of course with Caravan of Thieves because it's a little spooky, and that's part of the sound and part of the concept behind the band, and because we did so many shows for Halloween for many years, this, you know, we now kind of moved it to December for some reason, our annual
you didn't play for Halloween this year?
No, we didn't do Halloween this year. We did last year. We played for Halloween. We played at the we did a masquerade ball actually last Halloween, which was fun. It was also a fundraiser for a local music venue. But this year we're doing every year we've been doing at this place that we've been playing for years now, since we started the band. Actually, the very first place we ever played, which is called the Fairfield Theater, theater company, and Stage One is the name of the venue. And so anyway, we have our holiday show, which we call it the Holiday Hullabaloo, and that's on December 21st, and so which is in Fairfield, Connecticut. But we are traditionally like more of a Halloween band, and so
you're traditionally well. You said we're traditional, like a Halloween band or something?
Yeah, like meaning like we were more suited for Halloween, I suppose, like because of the, you know, kind of the spooky, gothy, you know, element of what we do with the song concepts and the sounds, and you know, a lot of our cover songs that we do and have done over the years were because of playing a lot of these Halloween shows, and we were like wanted to learn new ones every year, and we would do songs like Psycho Killer from the Talking Heads, and Bach Toccata and Fugue, and those seem to still stay in the regular rotation because it's very suitable or fitting for the music. And so and of course our song Raise the Dead, which is always a kind of a Halloween kind of song to us anyway, because it's also a celebration of life, Day of the Dead, that kind of thing as well. So.
Yes, I think people here we're gonna love it because this show it's all about goth and Halloween and alternative culture and magic and satirism. And people on the other side we're gonna be like, oh my God, yes, I love this because they love it. We love Halloween here. And going back to other chats we had before, like I wanted to mention this thing of honoring the dead or going back in time and said, okay, what these people on cemeteries, what their lives were like, or what, like, thinking about it and not worshiping death, because here it's very difficult here. Mainly like adults and the elder are like really Catholic and don't like this holiday and all these things around because they think it's worshiping dead, when it's actually like honoring and reflection around it. And I think that Caravan of Thieves got a lot of that.
Yeah, well, and I think, because when you think of our song, "Raise the Dead" is more of a celebration of life, and we look at Halloween the same way. It's not we're not worshiping the dark, spirits or anything like that. It's more of the kind of the fun aspect of it, and kind of the. It's just thinking about outside of the norm, like what's outside of the normal everyday life, and death is something that I think a lot of us fear, or we try to distance ourselves from it, and we're a little more like, let's embrace it a little bit, and because it's an important thing to kind of confront in your life, and it's also and we could even make a little bit a light of it, or make fun, have some fun with it in a way. So in our song "Raise the Dead," we're more celebrating the people's lives and thinking about what they were like in
people's memories.
The memories, and I think I mentioned this before, that like I live very close to a really nice old cemetery, which is actually where we shot the video for Raise the Dead, and we would walk through the cemetery and look at all the old headstones and see, oh, this one lived from 1680 to 1750, or what was that like to be alive during that time, and like, and these old memories there. It's like, does anybody think about these people anymore? Are they ever remembered? And, felt like it was maybe our job to remember people, and to or at least put the focus on that, to say, like, it's important to remember people's lives when they happen. Because I think
bring back, I'm sorry, bring back this tradition, because my great grandma used to go a lot to cemeteries, visiting her family, her ancestors and stuff. And my grandmother tells me that when she was a child, many years ago, she's 85 right now, and she tells me that when she was a child, they used to do picnics at yes, because they celebrated the Day of the Dead, and they were like really connected. But I think like now, or at least my family is, as you said before, like away from it, afraid of it, like I don't want to go. And there's also this thought as well that is like esoteric or spiritual, that there's nothing there, that's just something physical, but the soul of my beloved one is not there. So based on all these thoughts, beliefs, and also how much, at least here in Argentina, how much things have changed about visiting cemeteries, visiting a beloved one in a cemetery and stuff. So bring back this, as you said before, like bring back this of honoring, celebrating, like, yeah, it's that, not like romanticize death, but the life of those people.
Right. It's a celebration of life. Yeah, and which we've done, you know, the way we perform it in our show normally is we come off the stage at the very end of the night when everything else is done and we've performed the show. We'll get off the stage and stand on the floor with nothing plugged in, everything unplugged, the guitars and the violin and the upright bass and everything unplugged. And we get everybody to huddle around us, kind of like we do it in the video. And we just perform it acoustically and we get everybody to sing with us and stomp and clap with us. And that was how it sort of grew into how we recorded it and made it a song. And it's a very like kind of fun celebratory thing.
Like ritually, maybe you can say.
Yeah. It's like the end of the show ritual, you know, like, and we do it every single time the same way. Like we get, you know, the different environments and different reactions to it, but ultimately it's us doing that same thing. And we've even done a few events where we were asked to play at celebration of life events where somebody passed away, and you know, but they wanted to have a party, and it could get emotional. People, you know, maybe some people are crying and some people are smiling and they're tears of joy, perhaps, you know, but they are feeling that emotional thing, and we're delivering that music, and it's kind of helping them.
Can you say back the event? This event?
A celebration of life, you know, like, so it's not sort of the opposite of a funeral. It would be more like a celebration of life. So
is that a thing? Is that a thing there in the United States?
It is, yeah. So sometimes people have a party.
Yes. Instead of
yeah, the opposite of having a funeral, where instead of like we're just going to mourn and be sorrow and, you know, put our heads down and wear veils over our faces, we're going to actually have a celebration and remember all the good things about their life, and you know, and just recollect that way, like where we're you know, thinking about the joyfulness of it, you know, instead of, you know, yes, you miss the person when they're gone, you wish they were still here, but you know, but you can remember their life and all the great things that they did, and the accomplishments and the
things you've learned from them,
things you learn from them, the connections they made, the impact they've had on the world, and that's, you know, that's really what Raise the Dead is all about. It's about that, you know. You know, we paint a picture to make it kind of fun and festive. We're having a big dinner party, or, you know, we're clinking our drinks together and being like, you know, let's all raise the dead, you know, like, but it's really that, like, it's about that celebration of the life that they once had. We can still remember them, and that's how they can almost live infinitely through the music like that.
I think that's quite sweet, actually, because there are a lot of Goth is immersed in like these horror stories. Like you got some like horror or stories.
Oh yeah.
But I think this is very sweet because Goth got this romantic point of view over death. Every artist like approached this in a different way, and I think that this concept you're explaining about Raise the Dead is really sweet, and just brings the myth down of this, these people is romanticizing death and stuff, and no, we're not. We are at least I am not, and this song is not either. I would like to go before the first cut, before people listen and watch Raise the Dead. I would like to go over, because it's really hard to explain here people what your music is like, and I mentioned this before in other occasions, like that I play Haunt Me. I do cover Haunt Me. I hope I have permission. I never asked for it. But
please do. Keep the music alive.
Yes, and I keep the hunting alive. Only twice happened here, once in January and once in September. I do not play for big crowds yet. I hope one day I do. I really hope it's my dream. But
Yep.
and just twice people at the end of the show came and said, "You played Karen of Thieves," and I said, "You know Karen of Thieves?" "Yes, I do." "Oh my God!" And this happened only twice with two different guys. I guess in Buenos Aires there are more people that knows the band, but
Uh,
most people here don't. They know The Cure, and that's everything. Like, I mean, the uh, I'm not talking about goths. I'm talking about like people, like population. Like population. They don't know this band, don't know the sound. So I wanted to ask before the first cut, as I said before, um, what are the sounds of Caravan of Thieves? How would you describe? Because when I have to describe you, I say people, okay, this got and I don't know, I'm like half an hour explaining your music. So no one better than you to explain all these sounds, like Spanish, like Argentinian, of course from United States, all these exotic elements on your music. Could you tell us something about us? About that?
yes, yeah, yeah. So the sounds are there's a lot of different things coming together to create that sound, and it didn't happen all at one time, but I think we've talked about this that Carrie and I were just an acoustic duo to start with, and we had our one thing that was our common thread through all the music was that we were singing together in harmony, and we were acoustic. We had acoustic guitars, and we were singing songs together in harmony. But the sound of the music didn't have a clear direction yet. We were just kind of a little bit folk, a little bit rock, a little bit indie music, But then after one day listening to Django Reinhardt, the gypsy jazz guitar player from France, from the 1930s, and it's got this sort of swing era to it, and it was very kind of exotic sounding to me, and it also had a lot of elements of what we were already doing in a way, and the sound of the violin in the music, and we were working with a violin player at the time just to kind of, just sitting in, and so we started to come up with this idea of like bringing this gypsy jazz music into the picture, but then at the same time, what was going to be the concept though? Like, what are we actually singing about? Because we were going to have songs with words and not just instrumental music.
Yeah.
And so that's where the idea of this sort of goth kind of spooky element came about. To paint these very vivid pictures of like these kind of spooky things, like like you said, haunt me. Like that was an idea of like, it sounds like it's a haunting, but it's also like a love story, and so it's and how love
For me,
can
it's
be.
really sad. Like, I really cried several times listening to that song.
Yeah, yeah, because it's kind of this. There's definitely a dark side. It's supposed to provoke emotion. It's supposed to get you thinking a little bit and kind of paint these kind of scary pictures. But at the same time, there's a lot of heart in there too. And so, yeah, songs like that, or "Eat You," which is another one that's like a love story, but it's also like a little bit of a little it's got a gothic thing to it, obviously, because I'm going to eat you, and I'm going to build a fire, and I'm going to, it sounds like you're talking
Sharp
about
my teeth. I love that part.
I'm going to sharpen my
Sharpen
teeth.
all my teeth. Yeah, I love that part.
It's so to paint these sort of vivid, kind of scary pictures, but at the end of the day, it's just a love song. And so there's that was a big part of the creation of it, just to take from those, some of the dark poetry, some of the interesting spooky. I love Tim Burton, so it's very much like that kind of element where it's kind of dark but funny. And then there was also other music that just kind of started blending its way, because I love classical music, especially from the Baroque era of Bach, or the Romantic era from like Chopin, and so like all that, and
I
that
like
era.
Mahler. I like Mahler a lot.
Mahler too, yeah. Like the Mahler Symphony Number 2 is actually a big influence for me, and that because it's like got that sort of dramatic and sort of there's a very emotional aspect to that music, and it made its way into it just because it's all things from the past, like the swing era of Django Reinhardt, or the Victorian era of the romantic classical music in the 1800s. And then of course there's a lot of Spanish influences too, because that's just how the guitar is, and it's very much wanted to have that sort of sound, like the minor sounds and the very kind of fast picking sounds, and so flamenco guitar. And I was also listening to a lot of Astor Piazzolla, and so some of the you know tango music as well has also that same sort of dramatic effect. So bringing all those things together to kind of create this one sound that was hopefully unified. It was trying to sound like all those things at the same time and not just individually this or that or that. It's like, how do we embody it all at once and maybe bring it all together to have this sound of, we also have rock and pop influences. So the rock and pop groups that had that same kind of classical influence, like a group like Queen or the Beatles, where they were bringing in classical music and classical harmony into their pop songwriting, singing a lot of vocal stuff with harmony vocals, again, just to bring that together in with what we were already doing, which was that vocal harmonizing, but just putting this whole other spin on it. And that was really how it kind of came together over the course of several months. And by the time the very first song that I had written to sort of say, like, this is a good example of what Caravan of Thieves is about, was the song Bar y Soleil, which is very much
I love it. Sorry, but I have to interrupt right now. I'm obsessed with Barry Soleil and Mrs. Flynn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm obsessed with those songs. I usually use them for my. I got a craft shop here, an allied craft shop here, and I usually use Barry Soleil and Dr. Flynn. Sorry, Dr. It was Dr. or Mrs. because sometimes Dr. Flynn, because I confuse with Cinema Strange song. I usually use them for my stories or something. Sorry, I had to say it.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the first one. Barry Soleil is amazing.
Barry Soleil was the very first song to kind of like, because I remember I remember having these conversations with Carrie, and she was kind of like, I'm not totally sure what you're getting at here. And I was like, well, let me kind of put something together to kind of show you an example. and Soleil was the example, and it really did kind of capture the sound, and we kept going from there. The next few songs after that one were Rattlesnake, which was we had like a very much kind of like concept going in, like, oh, we wanted to write most of the lyrics in the song are with the letter S, just to create the sound of a snake.
Yes. I noticed that.
Yeah. That was the idea, because it was like trying to have these kind of concepts in the songwriting that were kind of fun, but also very like very much paint the picture. The butcher's wife was another one early on, and which was something that very much influenced by Tim Burton, and also things like the Sweeney Todd movie, and the show, which was very much like that kind of like it's a little bit creepy, but it's a love story, and it's
I think
so
I don't my interpretation of the song is like I got first of all, that is, for me, it's a horror song, and this line that "be a man," she said, is like brings all this this thing of being a man, this society like man-centered, and you have to be like, yeah, I got the guts to do this, and
Right.
I cannot to focus on that line for me, and at least that's the experience I got with that song.
Okay, yeah. That was her trying to lure the guy in.
Yes.
Trying to be like, come on, be a man, like, come and
Yes,
spend.
but here in Argentina, like feminism and all this fight against, I don't know the word in English, but like machismo. I don't know if there's a word in English for that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
here in Argentina, it's like really strong. That the fight is really strong, from women victims to male victims of this society. So
Right.
that's why that line, beside it's in a context and to trying to attract the guy and stuff. It's like, be a man, like that.
Yeah.
That's a line, just kind of explains 2,000 years of history for
Yeah.
me. for me, and in the context I'm living in the political and society, the political and social context I have here in my country. That's why it hits that much. Do you think we can make a cut right now so people can listen to Raise the Dead? We spoke about that like 10 minutes ago, so we make a little cut and go back in a couple of minutes. So,
Okay.
Los dejo con Raise the Dead de Caravan of Thieves y estamos a la vuelta. Vayan dejando en los comentarios qué les parece, algo que quieran saber y bueno, nos vemos a la vuelta.
Hey love, you're not still afraid of our dearly departed, right? 'Cause their heart, Mozart, Joan of Arc, and all of their friends are expected tonight. Listen now, we have little time, so let's find some festive decor. Break out the candles, the Cabernet, strike up the band. Let's all raise the dead and ask them to come to feast. A big celebration of past consummations and grand conceits. Let's all break some bread and marry down the boulevard. Give medals of honor to all of the goners and deceased. Come on, don't you tell me that you don't recognize anyone. This is Miss Dickinson. Go ahead and tell her poems really lived on. Everyone, life is strictly for the living, like you and me. But tonight we are sharing, despite the sad pairing, you see.
Entonces eso fue Raise the Dead de Caravan of Thieves. Como dije antes, vayan dejando en comentarios si conocías la banda, si alguna vez lo habías escuchado, si alguna vez me escuchaste me hablando de la banda. And okay, we got like 10 minutes left or something. So there are really a lot of things I would really like to ask you. I got also questions for Carrie, but she's not here. You mentioned Spanish rhythms before. Can you say anything about your relationship with tango, for example? That I know it's one of the many elements of Caravan of Thieves, but can you say something about it?
Yeah, you know, at the time that we were creating where I had the ideas flowing around in my mind before there was actually a band, I was listening to the Astor Piazzolla album Tango 0 Hour, and that one was I just love that album so much, and one of those like listen over and over and over again, and I what I like about the music is just it has this, everything feels so dramatic and so emotional, and I love the way the strings are kind of incorporated into the sound, and when we were trying to think of like what is going to be the role of the violin in the band, there is the way it's used in the Django Reinhardt Hot Club, which is more of a soloing instrument but I wanted to go a little beyond that, not have him just take solos on the violin, but how do we orchestrate the music so that the violin doesn't just play solos, but he's also playing a role throughout the song and in the arrangement of the song, and I got a lot of ideas, I think, from listening to Astor Piazzolla and how the music is arranged and orchestrated like that to bring in some of those dramatic elements with the strings and of course the rhythms between the guitar and the violin and that kind of stuff.
If I can mention one, the intro of Disappear for me, like you got the guitar and you got like the strings doing for me, they do like something like this. No, like
Oh yeah, yeah. You're talking about.
they're like in the intro I say, yeah, when you say don't disappear and the violin does like this thing
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah.
background. I love that arrangement. I love that one.
Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, like that was the idea behind that particular section was that, we knew it was going to come in with the, with the clapping and everything. It
Yes.
was going to, which is again, I think that's kind of part of that sound and we're talking about here. But before that came in, it was the idea was to have it sound like you're sort of swirling around and you don't know where it's going to go for a couple of seconds there. Like, where is this music heading? Because we're just kind of spinning in circles and then boom, and it all comes in together at once. And then it's like, that those dramatic effects to me were, things that were just, you wanted to bring onto the record, but also to bring into the show live.
Yes.
And those are the moments that everybody's like, yeah, because it's like a fun moment where we all get to sort of experience that, just dynamics and arrangement to me are some of the most important parts of the music besides the actual composition, the song, the lyrics and
It's
the
because you
melody.
said before that, and I also listened in another interviews that you studied composition as well. We are colleagues.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
so you are
Yeah.
very into every detail of every line, like
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a little period of time I wanted to be a classical music composer, and studied a lot of things like you're talking about Mahler. Like Mahler was a big. I love his. He was a very ornate, interesting arrangements of all these big giant orchestral things. As well as Debussy, French
yes,
composer. Like
yes.
and things like that. I love that. I love that era basically, like the 1800s into the 1900s of classical romantic big dramatic compositions. Prelude
Like
to the
dramatic. Of course, if we listen to Caravan of Thieves, we see it by like drama got an extremely big yes, it takes part in goth music in every genre, in every kind of goth music. It takes part like it's like a main character in goth music, like drama. You can't make goth music like just like plain, I don't know, like
Yeah, it's not just a little. It's deep. It's a deep thing. It's like I think part of what makes I think goth music and what makes it dramatic is the emotional aspect of it. It's it gets very deep into the emotion. Yeah, we paint the picture that's very it could be a little dark and macabre, or maybe a little spooky, or maybe even a little scary at times. But it's really about this emotional connection to it, and I think whether we're facing real life stuff that's scary to us in our real life, or thinking about the afterlife, which could also seem a little mysterious and scary. Those emotions are being kind of drummed, brought up, and then that comes out in the music, in the concepts of the songs, or in the arrangements of the instrumentation and that kind of stuff. And it's emotional. I think at the end of the day, as artists, we are emotional, and we are expressing ourselves through that music in the best way we can. And I think with Caravan of Thieves, we wanted to embrace that as much as possible. How do we make this really, how do we put that out there, and then the people who feel it are really feeling it, and that's really the whole thing behind it.
so fast. Thank you so very much for everything. Really, I would really love to, I don't know, speak about everything, talk about everything, because I got like 9 things written down here. But
I mean,
as
I think we could go through them quick if you wanted to ask me a couple more questions. We still have a little time.
we got 6 minutes. One more thing. One more thing. And you're free from Morgan. No, I wanted to ask about the name of the band.
Oh yes, right. And so Caravan of Thieves like I said earlier on, we were not, the concept was just kind of coming together. But at the time, the first thing that really sparked the idea was this Django Reinhardt influence and the gypsy jazz music. And so I decided to read a biography on him just to kind of get a little more familiar with his life story. And so we learned that he was very much like a real gypsy that lived outside of Paris in a gypsy camp in a caravan. So, and as they all did, and it was kind of interesting to hear the stories about them playing music around the campfire in the caravans, and so that word kept kind of coming back. And but also as a kid, he was sort of a little bit of a petty thief. And he'd go into
Django was a penny thief.
Django was a little bit of a petty thief as maybe like a 10-year-old as well. He would go in and get money out of people, and maybe he was more of a beggar. I don't know, but there was a little bit of thievery going on, and so this kind of kicking different words around and back and forth. Caravan of Thieves came together as a name, and we felt like it really painted a picture very vividly about.
Can I make an analogy over this?
Sure.
I just thought about it.
Sure.
It's just occurred to me right now.
Okay.
You stealing all these different elements from music from all around the world.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the pennies you're stealing. Actually, a sound from Spain, a sound from Argentina, sounds from different places in your country. I think that's a good. I like that.
I like that. That is good. I like to think of it as borrowing, but yeah, we definitely stole a little bit here, stole a little bit here, took a little there. And the range of influences is big, and so we did a lot of stealing. We are thieves.
You're thieves, and I am really. I like it. I like it. Well, Fuzz, thank you very much for everything, for every single minute you gave to this show, to this interview. I love it. I couldn't be more grateful, really. So yeah, anything else you want to say before leaving?
No, I mean, just I think the best way to appreciate Caravan of Thieves is probably to go through all the music, which is all online. It's all on Spotify and YouTube and Apple and everything like that. And because it's a really wide range, even going from the very first album, which is where the initial ideas came together, all the way to the last one that we put out as a band, which was Kiss Kiss. And there's songs like Disappear. That's when we kind of took everything to another level as far as the production and the arrangements and stuff. So there's songs that don't get heard as often, like a song like Sweet or Disappear, or songs that we don't perform live really, but those are really great ones to listen to on the album. Also, Hard to Love is another one I feel like I'm proud of.
I cry with that one too. I cry a lot.
Yeah. This is kind of very it's very kind of dark and moody, and it's just kind of a spooky love story, and so things like that, and we've done things outside of it, like Carrie and I have a duo album that's just Fuzz and Carrie. Which we play some of those songs in our shows sometimes, and I've been releasing some new music on my own. I did a version of Sweet Dreams, which is
I loved it. Oh my god!
And so I'm doing more stuff like that.
Listen to everything from Caravan of Thieves. I'm from Fuzz and Carrie. I'm from Fuzz himself. And everything. Okay, Thank you very much, and for being here once again. And I don't know. We are seeing.
Yeah.
I hope we meet one day in person. That would be great.
If you do come to the United States, let us know, and vice versa, and we hope maybe we will make it down your way. So I know there's a lot of people that know about us in South America. We just have never been there, and so we need to get down there.
We wait you. Very anxious.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you so much for being in Mascarada De Morgan. Thank you.
Thank you for having it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Disappear.
Bueno, estaba leyendo comentarios porque acá me desaparecieron de la pantalla. Me dicen, muy bueno, hermosa entrevista, muy amena. Felicidades al productor, traductor, guionista y editor. Una entrevista de gran valor. Bueno, el productor, traductor, guionista y editor fui yo. Hace 4 semanas que estoy... o sea, yo gestioné la entrevista, conseguí el contacto. Básicamente, nada. Y me hice cargo de todo lo que es la edición, la traducción y demás. Así que muchas gracias a las personas que lo fueron apreciando. Gracias a todos los que estuvieron del otro lado. Como acá me faltan algunos comentarios. Bueno, veo que está Raven Art. Veo que está Lau Caldarone también. Algunos, si hay alguno del otro lado que no ha podido comentar. Johnny Rodríguez dice, alta entrevista. Gracias por estar del otro lado. Tengo algunas cositas para decirles antes de irnos. No sé por qué mi botella está acá. Pues no debería. Vayan dejándome en los comentarios qué les pareció. And when you watch this, I don't know, this is gonna be posted like in a couple of hours. This is gonna be available for everyone all around the world. So I want to read your comments. What do you think about the interview and the material itself? I want to thank Fuzz. I want to thank Fuzz from Caravan of Thieves for being here, for everything he did. He's been sharing all around all his media, Instagram. He shared the link for the interview to everyone, literally to everyone via mail. So thank you very much, Fuzz, for being here. And I want to thank Carrie as well, because she was meant to be on the interview, but for schedule issues she couldn't be there. But thank you very much for everyone in Caravan of Thieves for the interview. So, antes de despedirnos entonces, te quiero contar que en Efra Motos te ofrecemos esta super oferta que no te puedes perder. Llévate una moto Keller Crono 110 más casco, patentamiento, papeles de fábrica y puesta en marcha a 1.080.000 pesos. Contactate con Nicolás para saber más y si quieres un financiamiento personalizado te van a asesorar con la mejor atención. ¿Buscas manicura? No busques más. En Nails by Feu te damos toda la atención que necesitas. Limpieza facial, manicuría, spa de manos y pies, depilación, redes también en pantalla. No se pierdan la oportunidad de acceder a sus servicios. ¡Hola, Nuris! Tenemos en el chat a Nuris, que está acá, actriz local nuestra también, modelo gótica, cosplayer, que está acá de visita, actualmente residiendo en España, pero nos está visitando, literalmente está en el país. Gracias, Nuris, por estar del otro lado, te mando un beso grande. Entonces les contaba, en Artesanías para el Alma, emprendimiento local de la mano de Claudia Sánchez, con más de 10 años de trayectoria, especializado en deco y aromaterapia, con productos de elaboración artesanal, todo, va a estar regalando el arbolito que ven en pantalla. Las pautas para participar están en un reel en las redes de Mascarada y de Artesanías para el Alma. Las redes de Claudia figuran en pantalla. También te quiero dejar con la data de Luxor Servicio Técnico, que va a figurar en pantalla.
Luxor Service, servicio técnico de audio y celulares. Pedinos tu presupuesto al 341-503-3646.
Bueno, entonces les digo, por si no tuvieron tiempo de anotar, el contacto para el servicio técnico 341-5033-646. 341-5033-646 y lo encuentran en @luxor.service en Instagram. No quiero dejar de comentarles que para Navidad y Año Nuevo vamos a salir por audio con material inédito, ¿sí? Vamos a salir en www.asisnuestravida.com.ar, así que si quieren seguir sintonizando, para que sigan sintonizando el programa, nada, los espero en Navidad y Año Nuevo. Después yo en el Instagram voy a poner la fecha exacta, si 24 o 25 con toda la resaca y la ensalada de frutas, para escuchar el programa. Leo los mensajes si alguien quiere comentar algo más, antes de ir a lo último, que es lo siguiente. Quiero agradecer a todas las personas que están del otro lado. Como saben, este es el último streaming, la última transmisión por YouTube del año. Así que quiero agradecerle a cada invitado que pasó por acá y no los quiero mencionar porque seguro me voy a olvidar de alguien. Pero agradecerles a los invitados, al público. Hay gente que está todos los miércoles ahí y que cuando no están es porque realmente no pudieron. Hay gente que ha escuchado el programa caminando en la calle, gente que ha escuchado el programa en una sala de espera, gente que ha escuchado el programa mientras limpiaba, mientras estudiaba, mientras fabricaba productos para una feria. Así que a todas las personas del otro lado que sintonizan miércoles a miércoles, a las personas que nos siguen y participan de los sorteos, hay gente que viene desde Made in Salem, desde mi emprendimiento, hay compañeros medievales, personas que nos encontraron de forma aleatoria y se sumaron y se quedaron. A mi equipo, a Emma le quiero agradecer también. A todos los sponsors y auspiciantes que también están acá apoyando el proyecto, a Editor Pianesi, dueña de Así es Nuestra Vida, y a toda Así es Nuestra Vida en general. Y principalmente a mi mamá y a mi familia, que son los que están siempre al pie del cañón para acompañar este proyecto, ya sea me falte la taza con el agua, me haya olvidado algo, me haya quedado encerrada en algún lugar. Siempre están ahí bancando. Así que quiero agradecerles a todas las personas que acabo de mencionar. Y bueno, redundando acá, no se olvides que salimos para Navidad y Año Nuevo por audio, pero no quería dejar lo que es la transmisión visual en video, sin desearles a todos un excelente fin de año y un todavía más excelente comienzo del 2025. El año que viene vamos a seguir con más Mascarada de Morgan y esperamos ser cada vez más. Cuento con ustedes para seguir creciendo y que este espacio sea el lugar para la cultura alternativa al que todos puedan acceder. Desde Rosario, Argentina y para todo el mundo, hace 2 años que somos campeones. Chao, nos vemos el año que viene.